Today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous wooden house. We're going to do it block by block, but not only that, I'm going to give you a world download in both Bedrock and Java, and I'm also going to give you a Java schematic so you can paste it straight into your world. Don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance. Today we're going to build a house. Now that doesn't sound very exciting, but this house is really gorgeous. It is a small rustic hut, but I'm going to offer you a world download in both Bedrock and Java, and I'm also going to give you a schematic completely free. Just go to avomance.com and you'll see the download link right there. Now this house is really simple to build. I'm going to go through it with you block by block so you know exactly how to build it yourself. But if you're too lazy or you can't be bothered, just download the schematic. It's in Java and you can put it straight into your world. Cut and paste, just like in Microsoft Word. So let me show you how to make it. What you're going to need to make this build is this. Now, some of these items are approximate, things like some of the woods and the bricks. It just comes down to how you want to build it, and certainly some of the interior stuff like the barrels and the crafting tables, entirely up to you. But that is around about what you are likely to need. Our footprint is made out of two simple rectangles. One is 5 by 8 on the left hand side, and the larger one on the right hand side is 7 by 9. And you've got that little jutty out bit on the far right that is just an extra 4 blocks. The first block we're going to use is mossy stone brick. We're going to have 1 or 2 high around the edge of this building, just to give the impression that nature is trying to take the thing back. We're not going to go more than 2 high though, because then that would become overpowering and it'd look too green. And what I'm doing is I'm literally just randomly placing the blocks in here. So as we've got some are 1 high, some are 2 high, some aren't high at all. I'm going to try and leave gaps kind of in the middle of the big walls because that's likely where windows are most likely going to be. And then I'm going to just leave it so as we've got just a touch of nature coming into the house like this. That'll probably do. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace where these aren't with some non-mossy stone bricks, just to give ourselves an outline. As soon as I got all the walls 4 high, leaving some gaps for the windows and the door, I decided I'd have a lean-to style roof on the side. So I brought it up to 5 high just for a short period, and then 6 high for 3 more blocks. I then came around the front and built a gable front with a triangle going in one on each side to a point of a single block. I then repeated it on the other side as well, so we had a symmetrical front and back. So that gives us the shape of the walls, but what we really need to do is to get a little bit of texture. It's incredibly flat with those stone bricks. So let's build in a little bit of stone and a little bit of andesite. So that's the outer building, the stony part, pretty much done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put in some wood trim, and the roof, we're going to start with this lean-to because we're going to make it just very gradually slope up towards the rest of the roof. We'll start at this end and we'll work our way up to the top. That is a blank block for the moment because we need to run a whole row of stripped spruce there, replace it with that, and then grab ourselves a little bit of dark oak slab and come around the bottom half of that. Exactly like that, and then we'll step up 1 on both sides, there and there, so it is 2 wide. So we've got a 2 wide gap there, so 1, 2, and we've got a 2 wide gap there, 1 and 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place these spruce trap doors all the way along, and what I recommend you do is bring that across because that's going to make it a lot easier for the trapdoors to place, and it also gives a better effect from the inside. We're then going to get ourselves spruce slabs coming across this way twice, and then we can up that level to 1 there and 1 there also, and then we can get some more stripped spruce wood and we can place it up against the edge of that, bringing it all the way across. There and there, and you can see how we're slowly and gradually bringing up the slope of that roof. We can then just repeat the process of bringing in some stripped spruce like that, popping the trapdoors across in exactly the same way as we did slightly lower, then grabbing ourselves 2 spruce slabs, making that 2 wide across there like that, and then bringing in the dark oak slab in a row of 2 there with the extra 1, and on this side a row of 2 there and the extra 1, and that gives us a really nice gradually sloping roof. Next we're going to be working on the roof and structure for the larger piece, but before we do that we need to get the full shape. So I'm going to get some more of this spruce stripped wood and I'm going to bring it up to that level there. I'm going to do exactly the same on this side and also on the other 2 corners as well. This is going to guide us as to where the other pieces of wood are going to go. I'm going to bring in a support beam there just to show that it looks like it's being supported, and then we're going to do exactly the same as we've repeated here, but we're going to bring it across on every single level. So place a stopper block on the end, bring in the roof all the way across, remove the stopper block and replace it so all the beams are facing the same direction, and do that across the entire roof. So you should end up with something that looks just a little bit like that. The next thing we're going to do is put a bit of trim around the edge of this gable, and we're going to start all the way from this side by popping some spruce steps just on the underside of here. You can see we've got that on the underside, and then we're going to place it there. This is going to come out one further every way along to give a bit of an overhang, and we're going to bring out there, there and there. This is going to pop out that direction. We're going to come there, there, there and there, and you can see here that we've got all the way along a overhang, and again we're coming across with these steps, and that encompasses that entire chimney suite there, so we don't have that sticking out to the side, and it just makes it a little bit more realistic with the chimney being inside the roof. We're just going to repeat that on this side as well. The basic shape of the house is in place now, but we've got to give it a lot more depth and texture. So with the placement of just a few extra blocks, we're going to give this loads more character and a much more rustic feel. Now we've used this strip spruce here already, so we're going to continue to use that, and we're going to come right up to the top, and facing downwards we're going to place 2 blocks exactly like that. We're then going to bring 2 more blocks down here, 2 more blocks down here, and 2 more blocks down here, and repeat it on the other side as well. 1 2 1 2 and 1 and 2, and then we're going to get spruce stairs and place them upside down just there, just to close that off. Now I've noticed here that I didn't have the step out, so that needs to be there. I'm going to get some spruce slab and I'm going to go 1 2 3 and 4, and then the same on the other side like that. Now that gives us that nice kind of curvature shape that gives us the depth that we're looking for. We're then going to get the spruce stairs again, and we're going to place 1 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there, and 1 right at the very top. We're not going to put any in there because we're going to do something slightly different with this. We're going to come to this side, we're going to place a spruce trapdoor there, and then pressing shift click, we're going to spruce trapdoor all the way up to the top as high as it'll allow us to go. We're then going to shut those spruce doors up, and that again gives us a blade coming down the side of that, and it's just another way to give an interesting bit of depth. We're then going to do exactly the same here, and we're going to close those up like that, and then we're going to put some spruce stairs exactly there, and using some spruce fence we're going to close off that window. We're not going to use glass because glass just wouldn't look quite right. Then repeat exactly the same shape on the other side. Exactly like that, but you'll notice on this side we haven't got a window. That's because we need something on the other side of that wall that stops us putting a window in. Don't worry, we'll decorate it out somehow. The next thing we're going to do is build a bit of life into this chimney. At the minute it's just a jutty out bit that gets in the way of the roof. We need to make it look a little bit weathered by using some steps and bring some texture of different blocks in. I texture it with andesite blocks and also some mossy stone brick so as it continues the texture of the rest of the house. Once I get above the roof, I bring it into a smaller shape using some steps and then give it a little bit of a twist to make it interesting. I then put some steps in upside down and the right way round to give it a little bit more depth, and put some campfires at the top with some trapdoors just to give it a closure right at the very end. Now I'm going to give it a bit of a porch across the top of this area just to make it a little bit more interesting. So we're going to bring just a very small porch with 4 campfires coming out like that. I'm going to put the campfires out using a spade and right click. That gives us a nice texture for the top of that. I'm then going to grab a stone brick wall, place it underneath there, put a fence there and another stone brick wall right there. And then I'm going to use again the same stripped spruce wood just to place that underneath there once the cow's out of the way, so as it gives it the same finish and it's in keeping with everything else. All I need to do now is go around and finish those windows in exactly the same way as we did with the first one. I'm then going to put some extra blocks in to give it a little bit more depth on the corners and perhaps use some dark oak buttons to make it look like it's pinned together. Obviously, we also need to bring in some bushes. Now that's the outside completely finished. You just need to put some stuff on the inside, create the schematic, and then I think this place needs a little bit of a makeover just on the outside. Not too much, just enough before I create the world download. We finished it all off now. We've got a little bit of groundwork going on the outside and we've done a really simple interior. You can see here we've got a tiny little pond with a little bit of light, some sugarcane obviously, steps coming up into a little pumpkin patch and a melon patch up there. We've got some crops up the top just with a little path going up onto the inside. On the inside we've got a little bit of storage with our loom and we've got a partition here, but you can just see a little bit at the outside, opening the doors, moving through, close that door back up again. We've got a little working area, we've got some smelting going on, we've got a fireplace, a little bit more storage there with the barrels. Coming round up the top we've got a sleeping area, some more storage, armor frame. We've also got our crafting table and our ender chest, and this is that little gap that we saw down there. It just gives a little bit of a sneak as to who might be coming in the door. I've left off the armor, I've left off paintings, I've even left off other entity type things that wouldn't work and come across on the schematic, so you can make this what you want it to be. Now remember, I am offering this in a world download for both Bedrock and for Java, and what that means is you get this magnificent landscape. Look at it. Gorgeous in the background there. You've got shattered savanna, you've got plains, you've got icebergs just over on that side, right next to the sea. You've got a desert over there. This is a really nice place for you to be able to build up your base, so I recommend maybe you do that. The rest of the sea is really nice as well. And what you can also do is grab the schematic for Java. That is all available in my free downloads folder, and you can access that through avomance.com. If you have enjoyed that video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you enjoyed them, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.